Hey. Okay, this came out like a day or two ago. This brand new relationship chart. We got a brand new relationship chart after the release of the new trailer, and since I went over the first one, I decided why not go over the second one. I mean, I was going to do it anyway, but yeah, we're going over the new relationship flowchart. Now, this has not been officially translated. What you're looking at right now is a fan translation of the chart, so obviously it's not going to be perfect, and some names in here are different, and I'll get to those when I get to those. So starting on the Kevis side, we have the Queen of Kevis. That's obviously Melia, and funnily enough, so the US trailer, like the newest Xenoblade 3 trailer, the US trailer finally got subtitles, and it just straight up drops Melia's name in the trailer. I mean, all of us, we already knew that it was Melia, but they just straight up dropped Melia's name in the trailer when she was talking. So yes, we have official confirmation that Melia is the leader of Kevis and Nia is the leader of Agnes. Now, it didn't say Nia anywhere because she doesn't talk in the trailer, but if we know this is Melia, we know that's Nia. But Queen of Kevis, and then Kevis itself, a nation developed in mechanical technology, and their enemies with Agnes. Now down here, I'm gonna go through the party first and then the new characters. Noah, Lance, Iuni, and Riku. They're all former Kevis army. And Noah is an officer. He's also a sword fighter. He interlinks with Mio. Mio is, I'll get to that later. Noah is officer, sword fighter, and he interlinks with Mio. Lance is heavy guard, and his connection with Senna, worried about her delicate personality. Iuni is a medic gunner, and her relationship with Tyon is she sees him as calm but emotionally unreadable. Riku is in charge of mechanics, and he is a Kevis army Monopon. Can't believe she would throw a pot and ride on top of it. And we actually see that in the trailer where Manana's like spinning around on a pot. But now, here on the bottom left, the mysterious giant suddenly appeared and attacked Noah and the others. He is an Ouroboros. We don't know who he is or what his name is or what significance he has. But over here, Ethel is a new character. I don't know if it's Ethel or Ethel. Kind of reminds me of Anel a little bit, but I pronounce it Ethel. Ethel is from Colony 4. She is the chief of military, and she is also known as Silver Ethel. And she's calling the party monsters. You see under there with the red arrow, it says you monsters. And she helped Noah when he was a child soldier, and the arrow going from Noah back to Ethel, he says, I thought you were one of us. So if you remember in the trailer, when she has that red glow in her eye, she's like a completely different person and like not in control of herself. And Kevis is enemies with Agnes. Agnes is a nation strong in magical technology. Ether, Queen of Agnes, obviously Melia. Now, or Nia, not Meli, Nia. Former Agnes army, Mio, Senna, Tyon, and Manana. Mio is an officer, and she's also Zephyr. Senna is a shredder, Tyon is a tactician, and Manana is in charge of cooking, and she is the Agnes army Monopon. Her relationship with Noah is she sees him like he has sharp insight. Senna lands, she says, let's go head to head, man. Because like Lance and Senna are like the two big bulky tanks. Like obviously Mio is the Kevis or the Agnes tank. But in terms of like build, Lands and Senna are like bodybuilder type things. So them like fighting and like going head to head would be pretty funny to see. Now Tyon to Iuni, she has an attitude about everything, which I don't like. Yeah, Iuni is pretty sassy and snarky. She does have a bit of an attitude, but I was rewatching the trailer just now because it got subtitles, so I wanted to see what like everybody was saying. And one of the voices in the trailer, like I couldn't tell who it was. I didn't even like think about who it could be, and it turns out to be Tyon. So for example, when he said, oh, something about the Ouroboros and you can do this through some like via some type of emotion or whatever, and I don't know, just all the parts where he was speaking, now knowing that that's Tyon now, it just feels so weird because he does not at all sound how you'd expect him to. Like he does not sound how he looks, he does not look how he sounds, and it's just hella weird. And now Manana Tariku, when it comes to gemstones, you can't see what's going on around you. Oh yeah, and Manana is basically Mithra 2.0. This is in charge of cooking and then little skull emoji. Yeah, Manana is absolutely garbage at cooking, so her and Mithra would get along very, very, very well. And now, down here, or next to Mio, Kamnavi. His name is actually Kamaravi, confirmed in the trailer. Here it says Kamnavi, but his name is actually Kamaravi. He is from Colony Delta. He's a chief of military, also known as Crimson Lotus Kamaravi. And something I had noticed is that Ethel over here is from Colony 4, while Kamaravi is from Colony Delta and Iserd is from Colony Lambda. So this is like a nice little attention to detail, because in Xenoblade 1 all the colonies were numerical, while in Xenoblade 2 we didn't really have colonies, we had like titans instead, which obviously had names. So the colonies in Kevis are numbered while the colonies in Agnes have names. I just thought that was a really cool little attention to detail that put in there, because Kevis is the Xenoblade 1 side of things, or Agnes is the Xenoblade 2 side of things. But Kamaravi's, his relationship with Mio is, he is the warrior that Mio heard about. Now right here it says the warrior he heard about. It's a typo, so she'd be the warrior she heard about. So Kamaravi is the warrior that Mio heard about. Isurugi, his name is actually Iserd, like Isurde. I think that's how you pronounce it, Iserd. But that is his official name, again confirmed by the subtitles in the trailer. He is from Colony Lambda. He is chief of military and he's Agnes's best tactician. And in my last video I said that he was Tyon's former subordinate, but it's the other way around. Tyon was Iserd's subordinate, Tyon was under Iserd. So I mean, I guess that's why Tyon is such a good tactician, because he learned from Agnes's best tactician. And now Tyon is saying to Iserd, why are you attacking us? Because again, him and Iserd were like acquainted, and Tyon was learning under Iserd, and now all of a sudden he's attacking the party. And his response, he says this is revenge to like the entire party, so like he's against the entire party. So this again also could be when he is under the influence and his eye is all red, and this is my revenge, you know, for when like Nimue died without her wish being fulfilled. We don't know who Nimue is, but I mean we can only speculate. And then the relationship between Ethel and Kamaravi is that they are fated enemies. So no matter what, they are fated to be enemies with each other, and they're both the chief of military for their respective colonies. So obviously they'd be like counterparts. But we hear Iserd is also a chief of military for his colony, so maybe there's like a second Kevis chief of military for a different colony other than Ethel. Since we have two over here on Agnes's side, we only have Ethel right now, who is fated enemies with Kamaravi. Maybe Iserd has a fated enemy from Kevis as well. And then down here in the right, Guernica Van Dam. So yes, that Zeke Van Dam guy in the trailer this whole time, it is Van Dam, and Guernica seems to be his first name. Now you may be thinking, wait, how is it Van Dam? Van Dam's dead. That doesn't really mean anything because there's a Van Dam in almost, I'm pretty sure in every Xeno game. We had Van Dam in Xenoblade 2, and then there's a different Van Dam in Xenoblade X, and there was Vanguard in Xenoblade 1, who I'm pretty sure his name in Japanese is Van Dam. So, I mean, plus characters can share the same names. So, Guernica, aka Van Dam, he could just be a relative of the Xenoblade 2 Van Dam and just took his name. But his name is Guernica, and he also goes by Van Dam, so they're interchangeable. And he tells the party there is another real enemy, and he tells them to aim for Sword March. And Sword March is the land pierced by a great sword. That great sword is the Makana sword. So Sword March is probably like the area immediately around the Makana sword, and maybe that could be like the home base to that Ouroboros guy. I'm gonna just call him Groff because he looks like Groff from Xenogears, but Sword March could be the home to Groff, or like his home base, or maybe a third nation. Okay, I'm not letting that go. I still believe there's going to be some kind of third nation. But yeah, Noah interlinks with Mio, Lance interlinks with Senna, Uni interlinks with Tyon, and then Rico and Manana don't interlink. But imagine a Napon Ouroboros, an Ouroboros Napon. That would be so hilarious. And also Kevis and Agnes, like the party members, former Kevis army and former Agnes army, they're cooperating and aimed for life by both nations. So not quite sure what that means, but I'm pretty sure that just means that they're being targeted by both nations for like the rest of their lives, because they're very dangerous, because they can turn into Ouroboroses, and that's a big deal. That could be that could be meant by aim for life by both nations, is that they're just being chased by both nations. And then Noah and Mio, another relationship between them. No, this is like Mio or Noah saying to Mio, we are both officers, but what does that but mean? It could just mean that, oh, we're both officers, but we're from opposing nations. I don't know. But yeah, this flowchart, there's not as much to go over as the first one from the first trailer. So I mean, this is just giving us a little bit extra information on top of what we already know from that first flowchart, and it's just adding in the new characters of Ethel, Kamaravi, and Iserd, as well as Guernica. When, if you remember in the last flowchart, Guernica, his name was there's a question mark there, but actually I think Guernica is with Agnes though. Even though he's not wearing white, he is on the Agnes side. But now that I think about it and look at it closely, he's probably not, because, you know, Groff over here is on the Kevis side, and he's obviously not with Kevis. They just did that because there's no room. But he has a black or a red outline, or like a red box around him, while Guernica has this like weird type of muted gray type of color. If he was with Agnes, he would be in that bigger box with Iserd, Kamaravi, and Nia. His is detached from the rest of the flowchart, so he's obviously not with either nation. And he's obviously very important to the story if they're, you know, bothering putting him here in the flowchart in the first place. But I'm kind of surprised that those other two characters we see in the trailer, that glassed hand girl and that white-haired girl, or the glass hand girl and the green-haired girl, we don't know anything about them, but I really do want to learn more about them, especially the green-haired girl. I don't know, I just feel like I'm going to like her a lot as a character once the game comes out, like once we're actually able to play as her. Maybe if she is a party member, I really hope she becomes a permanent party member, if not temporary. So, because she looks like she wields a bow, and I just really like archers or like bow type of bow weapons. I like ranged attackers per se. So if we do ever get to use her, or she does become a party member, I'm gonna pop off. But I don't think I missed anything. See, there's a lot I want to correct about my last video, about the analysis video. That video was more of like a surface level look at the trailer. It wasn't meant to be any like in-depth deep dive analysis. It's just a surface level of what I noticed first time watching through, or like I noticed without diving deeper, just like the basic knowledge that I had. So I'm eventually going to make like an actual in-depth, more organized trailer analysis, but for now I just want to get this flowchart video out. But yeah, that's really it. So this video isn't going to be an hour long like my past 3 videos have been, so I mean, yeah, I'm giving y'all a little break. But yeah, kind of basically talked about everything that I wanted to. I'm not going to speculate on any like further relationships with characters. I just wanted to cover everything that was in this flowchart and leave speculation for another video. But I mean, yeah, that's really about it. So as always, thanks for watching. Have a damn good day. Stay safe. You will. At least my damn Xenoblade.